Hi, my name is Kate Frauchi. I am a cyclical living guide, I am an author, and I am a movement educator. I'm here today to share the first of a four-part series offering short, concise yoga practices to help you through each phase of your cycle. Your feminine cycle, menstruation, uh, luteal, follicular, ovulation. Those are not in order, but those are all components of what makes up that feminine monthly cycle. If you no longer bleed, you can also follow the moon cycle. And all of this information I have actually put into a book called Cycle Freedom, Finding Empowerment and Joy Within Your Feminine Cycle. I also have a journal tracker that is available as well. Down below is a link to that webpage that has all that information. And yeah, I don't want to waste a whole lot of time. I want to jump right into it. Today's video is menstruation. So I'm going to offer you some yoga for menstruation. Sometimes it can be a pretty painful experience. For some, a lot of low energy. So we really want to be doing really soft, comfy, restorative like yoga. The first thing that I want to offer in this practice is the three-part breathing. A lot of times, what needs to happen here in order for us to release, to let go of that, all of the blood and all of the hard work that our body made throughout the month, we have to release that, and sometimes that can be a little bit full of tension. The three-part breathing allows for a little bit of internal massage. And so if you're not familiar with three-part breathing, I kind of want to introduce that here before we jump in, because there'll be a couple of spots where I want you to try that with the yoga pose. So your three-part breathing, as always, aligned. You want to make sure that the spine is aligned, the heart is kind of floating over that pelvic bowl. Now you can absolutely do this laying down, and this feels really good when you're laying down, especially when you're experiencing menstrual cramps. So the three-part breathing is really, as you inhale into the breath, that's the first point. You can see my belly is expanding down and out and in all directions. So there's that first sip of air. The next sip of air then fills the lungs. Last little sip, you fill up, and then as you exhale, you're exhaling, you're emptying the chest, and then you're emptying the belly. Okay, so I'm exaggerating a little bit just so you can kind of physically see what's going on here. So you're inhaling, exhaling. And so I'll lay down and show this as well. Your three-part breathing. Breathing into the belly, into the chest. Last sip of air. Exhaling, letting the chest empty, letting the belly empty. Okay? You gotta see that movement. Now that takes a little bit of practice to really feel like you have a good hold of it. However, three-part breathing is so beneficial in so many ways, and I have found that especially during that time of experiencing some really uncomfortable cramping, that three-part breathing not only relaxes the body and lets it kind of do what it needs to do, but it relaxes your nervous system, and it also gives you that internal massage that can kind of help move things along, so to speak. So I highly encourage you to try three-part breath just on its own. And that was your crash course to three-part breathing as applied to this practice. So as you continue to come back to this practice during menstruation time for a little bit of movement medicine, practice your three-part breathing. See your progress, because practice makes progress. We're going to start with a cat-cow child's pose movement. So now that we've kind of been breathing and landing in space, go ahead and find a tabletop position. Your knees are underneath your hips, your hands are, fingertips are spread wide. Take up a lot of space on the earth. And for cat-cow, you are inhaling, dropping the belly, drawing the tailbone towards the crown of the head. Your exhale is your cat, your scary Halloween cat, rounding Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then sink back in a child's pose. So you can take the knees wide, or you can leave the knees where they're at. We'll take 3 breaths here. 2. Coming back to your tabletop. Let's do that again. Find your inhale for your cow. Exhale for the cat. Inhale for your cow. Exhale for the cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then sinking down into your child's pose as you're moving in between cat, cow, and then child's pose. Allow yourself to breathe fully. You may be in some pain, but you're here, you showed up, so just allow yourself to move and breathe softly and gently. One more round of that, coming back to your tabletop position. Inhaling for cow, exhaling for cat. See where you can really breathe into some of those spaces that need some of that extra soft nourishment and love. Especially during this time of menstruation, honoring that womb space. After your 3rd cat-cow, sinking back into your child's pose, continuing to breathe in and out of the nostrils as fully as possible. Continue to breathe. Continue to just be in a little space here with yourself. Kind of releasing any type of awareness to the outside world. Coming back into tabletop position, we're going to take some figure 8s here. So as you're on hands and knees in your tabletop position, you can start to move the hips around. You can really stretch them out. This usually feels pretty good. With breath, it feels even better. So you're picking one direction and you're taking your figure 8. You're drawing a figure 8 with your hips. Imagine maybe kind of holding a pencil, your belly button, tracing that shape, your hips. Then if you come back to center, try taking it another direction. It's always kind of a fun little brain buster. Go in the other direction. All right. And if you get tired of the figure 8s, you can always just rock back and forth on the hips, hands. This practice is all about just creating ease and space. And so now I'm going to have you go ahead and lay all the way down. Bring your legs down. I just noticed my socks don't match, and that's okay, right? So your hands will be kind of up towards the corners of your mat. Kind of like I have a mat, but I don't. So my forearms are rested in the earth. My pelvis is relaxed into the mat. And my glutes are relaxed into the mat. So check into those pieces for a moment. You're going to want to bring your feet about hip width apart. And then you'll push into the palms. The glutes relaxed. There's a tendency to squeeze, just keep them relaxed. And then just opening through the front body, okay? And then exhale, lower down. Inhale then, just inhale, push up, keep the glutes relaxed, look forward. It's a little variation, it's kind of opening some of those front hip muscles. And a little bit of a massage to that womb space. As you exhale, you lower. As you inhale, you lift, pushing into the corners of your mat. Keep your shoulders strong down and back. Beautiful. One more time. Great. Notice how I had to relax my glutes. Keep it loose. As you lower down, bring your hands underneath you. Tuck the toes under and slightly push yourself up. We're going through now to seated and then to the back. These next three poses are some of my absolute favorites. This butterfly pose that we're going into, reclined butterfly, there's a couple of options here too. We really want to create a lot of ease and comfort as we're moving through our menstruation practice. So as you draw the soles of the feet together and let the ball open, you can always set a blanket underneath there or a block or a bolster, whatever. Sometimes there can be a lot of tension and tightness there. So go ahead and lay back. Go ahead and find whatever space feels good. Let the arms relax out to the side. Soles of the feet are together. Allowing yourself to find some space. This might feel really uncomfortable. Sometimes even if I'm in a lot of pain, I'll only just do one side. So I'll lay in a figure 4. So just a couple of options there for you to find the space that feels the most comforting for you as you bleed, as you honor your bleed, as you honor your feminine cycle, as you relax on your back now. Breathe in and out. Wonderful. We're going to bring in that 3-part breath. So you will inhale into the belly, into the chest. Exhale from the chest. Exhale from the belly. Dropping into this really juicy, sweet space. We're going to stay here for a little while. I encourage you. This is a great one to do while you're laying in bed as well. I know sometimes I end up being in bed the first day of my period. It's one that I go to all the time. So as you inhale, breathe in. Breathe into your womb space. Offer it nourishing breath as you exhale. Exhale from the chest. Relax. Exhale from the belly. Bring in that 3-part breathing. Hopefully by now your first couple inhales and exhales, you're gonna feel the softening. Maybe it feels appropriate to change positions and do a figure 4. So making like a 4 with your legs. Keep your upper body relaxed into the earth. Keep breathing fully into the womb space, into the belly. Fabulous. You're doing one side or the other. Make sure that you switch sides. A few more breaths here, just allowing yourself to melt. This is your time and space to honor your bleed, honor your feminine cycle, honor the moon. That's what's present for you. Oh, good. Go ahead and send the legs long, point and flex the toes, arms come up overhead. And next we're going to do some windshield wipers. So windshield wipers are another really nice practice that I incorporate into easing the discomfort of my menstruation. Your feet will be rested on the earth. You'll have them as wide as your mat. Your heels have a good distance from the back of your bum there. You notice my arms are out, my shoulders are relaxed. My inhale, your inhale, has your knees up towards the sky. Your exhale then will let the knees fall to one side. As you do that, the sides of your feet kind of keep the place on the mat. Inhale your knees to center, and then exhale your knees to the other side. You can pause in between and really get a breath opening through that hip area. You can also spend some time just gently massaging the womb space as well. This is your practice, so make it as nourishing and comforting as you need it to be. Continue to inhale and exhale as you lift and lower the legs, center, and then to the side. And again, this is a beautiful posture to practice while you're in bed with a heating pad on. These are all things that you can do individually, as well as following along with me, linked in the video. The more familiar you get with your body and what your body responds to, the more confident you will be without any instruction at all. You'll just know. You'll be tuned in, tapped into that body wisdom. Take a few more breaths, speaking of body wisdom, and imagine breathing right into that womb space. Breathing in. 3-part breath here is still very accessible and available. Or maybe just breathing into the nostrils and out of the nostrils is enough. Good. As you come back to center, you can hug the knees into the chest if that feels comfortable and good for you. Take a couple of cleansing breaths here with legs up the wall. So you just send your legs up. I always like to point and flex my feet and rotate my ankles a little bit. And then I typically rest my hands underneath my lower back. You do not have to do that, but it tilts my pelvis in a way that helps my legs to relax better, or more fully, I should say. So here are just a few more 3-part breaths. Breathing into the belly, the chest, and then exhale. The belly, the chest, and exhale. One more time. As you finish your third and final breath and your legs up the wall, again, something that you can hold for longer with breath if you'd like to. Reach in between your legs, grab your big toes with your peace fingers, or you can grab your ankles, whatever works. You're going for a happy baby. So your thighs, the tops of your thighs, go parallel with the earth. Your knees draw away from each other. We'll turn so you can get the most beautiful view and relaxing the upper body. Happy baby, you can kind of go like this if you'd like to, pedal out the legs. Just what that looks like from the other way as well. And so in this really vulnerable, open position, take a few breaths right through the yoni. Inhale, in through the yoni, and out. This time breathing into the womb space. Relax, breathe, unfold, open. One more time. Oh. Roll under your side and bring yourself into the fetal position for a minute. Just honoring and recognizing that really potent and beautiful connection connection to the divine through our womb space, the connection to death and rebirth and that beautiful cycle of life. Knowing that emotion is so natural. Often when we tune and tap into the womb space, there is a lot of emotion there. There's tears to be shed, and yeah, it's really good stuff. Go ahead and sit on up. And that is your menstruation practice. And you really can come back to this practice whenever. And also just know that everything that you received or that you needed from this practice, you received. And if you're still feeling a little crappy, that's okay too. Make sure you're drinking your water. Make sure you're getting your rest. Make sure you're taking some time to just unplug. Make sure you're taking some time for you during this really important phase of your cycle. This is the space of winter where we let the soils rest, where we let things just be still in order to gather energy and momentum for spring. So join me for the next video, the follicular phase, springtime, where we'll be a little bit more active, shaking out the cobwebs and honoring our bodies, our womb space, and our feminine cycle yet again. May your practice bring you peace. May you share this peace with the world. May we be safe and protected. May we be healthy and nourished. May we love and be loved. And may we truly be happy. Namaste.